are attached to bishops. All souls are to bishop. Now, can you bring it up? Let me explain something. All souls are attached to bishop. So the capital job of all bishops is to have revelation that can keep souls of men. Now, for instance, I am a bishop. I am the bishop of immortality. I am the bishop of all souls that must not see death. So I bishop them. Now, do you know how I bishop them? I became an intercessor. I shared the revelation that can keep them alive into their soul, so that I can declare them untouchable. There is no job on earth that is superior to bishoping men's soul. That is, if God must take a woman, take the life of a woman, he must go to the bishop of that woman's soul and said, I want that woman, that Florence. I hope nobody is Florence in this place. I want that Florence to come home. But you are the bishop of Florence on earth. What do you say? And then sometimes I would say, Kezi Yome, what did she do? Sometimes, when a particular locust is hurting God, he will report the person to me. He said, you see that woman, when you open your eyes, go and warn her. Why does God do it? It's because he cannot take my sheep. Death cannot take my sheep without my permission, because I am in the office of a life giver. And it is my job to bishop those that have immortality. In John chapter 10, Jesus said, you see all my sheep, I'm not going to lose any of them. He said, I'm not losing my sheep. He said, all that my father gave into my hand, all. He said, not even one. That is a statement of a bishop. In any ministry where there is proper bishoping, you don't take somebody, you don't take a sister or a brother that is under a particular bishop without telling the bishop. The bishop is the God face of the woman. The what? Particularly if that woman is devoted in that altar, the bishop must know. And sometimes when huge blessing want to come, many years ago, a particular lady whose name is Ngozi, then I was only praying for women that want fruit of, women that believe God for fruit of the womb, like 95, 96. And one day during that period, I was kneeling down praying, and the Lord brought this lady called Ngozi to me on my knee. He said, Christian, I said, yes, Lord. He said, I came to you to tell you that Ngozi should not stay alive, and you'll be staying without a child. I'm giving you responsibility. I mean, I was on my knee. God called me. He said, that lady Ngozi, I'm seeing there. And when I was saying, which of the Ngozi, I know more than one Ngozi. He brought her, very beautiful girl. He brought the Ngozi. I said, this one. He said, make sure that she gets a child. So I said, what did she do for you? They are trying to worry me about her. He said, when you are through with prayer, you call her and ask her. This testimony will help one person or two. So when I got up, I called them because women came for fruit of the womb prayer, and I called her by the side. I said, what happened? Why did God? Is there anything you did? Is there anything you did that that God is telling me that I must make sure you have a child. She said one day, because then Lucas wasn't a church. One day we came for prayer, and we wanted to break the fast. We needed bread and some few things to break the fast. So I told the women to contribute. Women that wanted children, they were behaving somehow. Some contributed. So we are waiting on what to do until that Ngozi brought money. So the Ngozi told me that when she came for that prayer, and I said that women should bring money, and some people were behaving carelessly. He said she didn't have money because she was a school teacher. He said when she was thinking on what to do, he said she climbed down the step because we are in a story building. He said she went to her friend who was living in that street and asked her to borrow her money that I needed money to break that fast. He said that friend lent her money. And then she brought the money she borrowed from that friend and gave me. I didn't know she borrowed it. But God was watching that girl go to borrow it. And then the Lord told me, he said some of the women that you are there shouting on their head had money more, 10 times what that girl went and borrowed. Listen, because God has given me command, I said even if I don't know how to pray prayer, I will use it for experiment. Because God have already asked me that I should not stay without her prayer. Give him. She became pregnant. She gave birth to a boy. And then another giddy. She gave birth to a girl. I said, Gawazi. You think that God cannot see you? If he cannot see you, why are you praying? You think that God blesses with sacrifice? He told me, said, if you are the bishop of that girl's soul, that if you ask me a child, I will give her. Since you were born, have you ever surprised God? What am I sharing on? What you are? Souls of men. Let me stop this way. Please. The worth of your soul is in the light content of that soul. The worth of every soul is in the light content. Now, I want to reveal a secret now to us from abundance of revelation. Now, there is a promise of God in the Bible. And I am not revealing this secret. I want to thank God for it. I want to thank God for what I'm about to say. There is a promise in the Bible in the book of Job, chapter 28, verse 22, where the Bible says, God shall give us gold as dust. It was this morning that God told me that gold as dust can only be given if mystery finishes. I will give you gold as dust. But gold as dust is hidden in secrets. So in chapter 10, verse 7, mysteries must finish if gold must come as dust. But I want to take gold as dust so that you can know where you belong. Now, this is what I want you to do. Start a discipleship. Start a discipleship of growth. Start a discipleship of growth in immortality. Don't fear the devil. Don't focus the devil. Start a discipleship. Say, Lord, I want to grow.